Alright, so traveling the world for free probably sounds like it's too good to be true. If it were that easy, everyone would be doing it, right? Well, yes and no. It's very easy to find this information online, but you won't find it if you don't know what you're looking for to begin with. So this right here is the video that I wish I had watched when I was 17, when I first started traveling by myself on a very tight budget, and hopefully this will make your life a lot easier and a lot cheaper. I've divided the video into 7 different categories, starting with volunteering abroad, and that's probably the biggest one because it's the most straightforward. There are 7 websites I want to mention in this category, starting with my personal favorite, and that is Worldpackers. If you're a subscriber, you will have already heard of them because I've posted a few videos about the platform. To summarize, you just log on and then you will get access to a lot of different projects literally all over the world, ranging from working behind the front desk at a hostel, or cleaning, or doing tours around a town, to helping places with their social media. And then you contact the people organizing those activities or those volunteer placements, and they will get in touch with you. You will then mutually decide whether that is a good fit, and then you go off. Sometimes you will get free accommodation, sometimes you will get free accommodation and free food, sometimes you will also get free activities if you're staying in a hostel. Personally, I think volunteering through Worldpackers is such a good way to see the world. Often you will also meet other volunteers, so you already have that built-in sense of community. What I really like about Worldpackers over some other platforms is that they have a really good support network. If you contact them with any issues, they're very fast to respond, they're very fast to help. If you get to a project and it's not what you thought it was going to be, they will help you out. Having said that, I don't want to scare you because that's quite unlikely to happen. When you apply to volunteer at a project, you will see loads of reviews and you can contact other Worldpackers members to discuss how they felt there. There is, however, a small annual fee that you have to pay in order to access all those volunteer placements. I do have a discount code, which I'm listing here and in the description below. You absolutely don't have to use it, but it exists and it will save you money. And yes, it's a bit of an upfront cost, and I understand that that's not possible for everyone, but if you do just one volunteer placement, that cost will be far less than you would have paid for accommodation on site, accommodation and food in some cases. So personally, I think it's really worth it, especially if you're going to be using it quite a lot. But here are a few other websites. We've got Workaway, we've got HelpStay, we've got HelpX, and we've got WWOOFing. I mean, it's called WWOOFing, okay? It's worldwide opportunities on organic farms. So they purely focus on that type of volunteering. This organization has existed for many, many decades, so you know that you're getting good quality. And because they specialize in one type of volunteering only, it means that there are tons of opportunities because people already know about this platform. Organic farmers will automatically list on there, so other volunteer platforms might not have as many opportunities of this sort. If this is something you want to do, you want to get your hands dirty, definitely check out this platform. And one great thing about WWOOFing, food is typically included in your stay. Not always, but typically. Now here are 2 more volunteer websites I would recommend. The first is Pueblo Inglés, and that is an organization that will literally host you for a week at a beautiful resort somewhere in Spain or anywhere all over Europe, and you will then just talk to people. That's literally all you have to do. So the prerequisites are you being a native speaker of English, and that's literally it. And apparently it takes just 5 minutes to apply, so why not check it out? I personally haven't used Pueblo Inglés, but it sounds like a great organization. I reviewed a lot of the reviews and they sound great. I also want to mention one final organization, but before I talk about this type of volunteering, which is volunteering in the humanitarian sector, I want to mention a few caveats. You may not know this, my background is in political science. I did global development, international relations, that kind of thing at university. And it's something I am hugely passionate about. Absolutely admirable, but sometimes it can do more damage than good. I do have a separate video talking all about this, so I can link it below. You can check it out on my profile. But in short, make sure that you're volunteering with a reputable organization. Make sure that you are not volunteering with vulnerable individuals if you're just staying for a short period of time. What I mean by that is don't volunteer at an orphanage. That's a whole topic of its own, where you are making really deep connections with children that are vulnerable, that have been hurt before, that have been abandoned, only to do the same thing to them 2 days later. You know, you're hugging this child, you're forming a bond, and then you leave them and it creates really troublesome psychological issues for them. So please, please, please do your research. But with all that said, the organization that I have volunteered through and that I would thoroughly recommend because I know that they do their research is Indigo Volunteers. I used Indigo volunteers to help out at a refugee camp. I worked there for 3 months. It was in northern Greece and it was full of so many different nationalities. And I taught English at a women's space, so a building, a community that is purely designed for women. My classes were level 0, so people with completely just no knowledge of English, and level 1, so people who are beginners but they know little bits. And I would do daily classes. It was always the same people, so we got to know each other. And I was there for 3 months, so I wasn't just in and out. It was such a wonderful experience. I could not recommend it more. I learned so much about the world. I learned so much about myself. I think I gained a lot of empathy through that experience. It wasn't something I got paid to do, and I actually had to pay a small stipend for my accommodation and to cover my food, but it was a very, very negligible amount. I think I paid in total with food and accommodation about 300 or 400 euros for the first month. And then after that, because I was staying long term, I paid less, maybe 200 euros. So it's a very cheap way to live. I know it's not sustainable to volunteer non-stop forever, but if it were, I'm not sure I would have left, to be honest. It was just such a good experience. I have a whole separate video on it if you want to learn more, and I will make sure that I've linked it somewhere here. All right, now we're going to move on to our second large topic, and that's free accommodation. I know accommodation and transport tend to be the two biggest costs, the two biggest expenses, and I'm going to tell you a secret. I have literally paid £0 in rent this month. I'm going to be doing a whole separate video on it. But my secret, okay? My secret is actually all around me. I am currently house sitting and I am paying nothing to stay in this absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous house. Let me show you around, okay? Here's the dining room and here is the absolutely gorgeous garden. Look at this. It's huge, and that right there is a chicken coop. I have been a chicken mama for the past week. Let me put my shoes on and introduce you. Okay, here we go. Hello, chickies. Oh, hello. Hello there. Oh, there's 2 of you, yes. You wanna come out? These are my new friends. Oh, where are you going? Bye, girlies. Okay, here is the kitchen. This is the study right here. But the best part is in the bedroom. Don't worry, this video is not taking a turn. It's very, very cute. You're gonna love it. Hello, Tom. This is my new best friend, Tom. So cute, so loving, so floofy. You're so cute. You're such a good cat. You know you're such a good cat. Okay, we're gonna let Tom sleep, but how cute. I found this house sit through trustedhousesitters.com, and there are many different websites that pretty much do the same thing. I personally really like Trusted House Sitters because I feel like they have the most listings. I have found it really easy to find loads and loads of places that I could apply to, and if you are new to the platform, which by the way, you also have to pay an annual membership fee for, similar to Worldpackers that I mentioned previously. And yes, when I was first paying for it up front, I thought, I don't know if I'm gonna use this enough, but now that I'm staying here for 2 weeks, I am saving so much money. As I mentioned, I am literally paying £0 in accommodation this month. So when you take that into account, the membership fee really doesn't matter that much. If you are new to the platform, I would caution patience, because it does take a really long time to get accepted in the beginning when you have no reviews. It is difficult for the house owners to know that they can trust you. I do have a few tips which I'm going to mention in my other video where I'm going to be talking exclusively about house sitting, but I caution patience. It does pay off in the end. And now I've got 4 house sits lined up, so I'm living the life, okay? And the second free accommodation website I want to mention is Couchsurfing. You've probably heard of it. They have introduced a rule where you also have to pay a small membership fee, but it is very, very low. I do want to mention that some women have reservations about using websites like this, and there are some disgusting predators out there. Predominantly though, you will find nice people. There are reviews. There is a verification system in place so that you can feel quite secure. if this is something that just seems a little too sketchy, don't worry about it. There are many other options, as you have seen in this video. Now that was free accommodation, but if you're in the fortunate position of owning a house or owning a home of any sort, an apartment, a flat, you are also eligible for house swaps. There are so many different websites that you can use to swap with places all around the world. If you've seen The Holiday, you get the gist of this. You find a stranger who wants to go to the place where you live and vice versa. You swap. The end. There are 3 websites I want to recommend in this category, and that is Love Home Swap, Home Exchange, and HomeLink. You see I'm reading them off my phone. That's because I haven't actually used this service myself because I don't have a home to swap with anyone. But if I did, I would definitely look into these. The next big category I'm personally also not eligible for because I can't drive. I know I'm way too old to not be able to drive. But anyway, we move. I can't drive. But if you can, like a regular adult human being, then you can take advantage of this. It literally means just taking someone's car and moving it to a different spot. And I'm not talking reparking in the same city. I'm talking cross country, maybe for people who are moving to a new home. In the vast majority of cases, you will have to pay for gas and you will have to pay for accommodation. Sometimes you can maybe sleep in the car if it's a van, but it is a really good way to save money. The next big category I would be eligible for because I love water. I love swimming. I love surfing. I love being near it. I love looking at it. And I don't get seasick. If you do get seasick, this may not be for you because it requires you to be on a boat pretty much at all times, and that is working as crew either on a yacht or on a cruise ship. There are different websites. These 3 are the ones that I would personally recommend, and basically you will find placements working as anything from a steward or stewardess to performing or emceeing on a cruise ship. So it can be stuff that is more solitary, or you can be a cook, you can be a chef, you can, I don't know, you can drive the boat. Now, I have personally never worked on a yacht, but I have watched Below Deck with semi-religious fervor. I'm not sure that the reality TV show is, you know, the same as reality. However, the job roles will be fairly similar. The drama may not, which is probably for the best. If I were younger and single, I would probably consider doing this. It looks really fun. You're constantly waking up in new places. Yes, it can be difficult work. It can be very physical and mentally probably quite demanding. You'll probably get a bit of cabin fever, but overall, I think the benefits really outweigh the downsides. Now, you have got this far in this video, so I'm gonna assume that you are pretty good at sitting through presentations if they serve a purpose. And that ties very nicely into my next category, which is timeshares. Now, people selling timeshares are pretty intense, okay? They will do anything it takes in order to sell them. And that anything includes taking you on an all expenses paid vacation just for a chance to pitch this incredible purchase to you. The most popular website for this seems to be timesharepresentationdeals.com. I haven't personally used this because if I went, I would definitely buy something. It would be an absolute disaster. But if you are someone that is not susceptible to marketing and that won't feel bad saying thanks for the free vacay, but no thanks, then you should go for it. And finally, this last category is not for everyone, but for a very different reason, and that is exploring your roots. If your ancestors come from one of the places that I'm about to mention, then you might be eligible for a free trip abroad. I sound like a teletext person. And call 999 and get another whatever. Okay, here are the countries. I'm gonna be reading off my phone. I hope you don't mind. Number 1, Birthright Israel. We've got Heritage Greece. We've got Reconnect Hungary. There is Birthright Macedonia. That's North Macedonia. Birthright Armenia, and Cuba 1. I think there might be some other programs that I haven't come across yet, but these ones that I've mentioned, I have checked. They seem to be available right now. They do have different requirements as to how closely linked you need to be to those routes, but overall, it seems like an absolute no-brainer. Why would you not take advantage of these programs? So that is how I travel for free. Can I just show you a bit more of this room? It's full of books. This is my absolute dream room. Look, these are the books that I want to read next. I'm so excited. It's got a fireplace. I mean, it's truly incredible here. I really hope you found this video helpful. If you have any travel related questions about budgeting, being a solo female traveler, anything at all, please ask me below. Don't forget that you can follow me on other social media, by the way. I post on Instagram and TikTok pretty much daily. I'm out of breath. Okay, we'll stop it right here. here. I'm gonna go make myself a tea. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all the usual stuff. And I am, again, posting weekly. Let's see how long that lasts for this time, but fingers crossed. I'm enjoying it. It's nice to be back. Okay, bye.